I feel like there's so many different levels to what self-care can be. I'm kind of a fan of all of it though, because I think that any reminder to other people or to yourself that you need to take care of yourself and you need to spend some energy on taking care of yourself is an important thing. But I kind of like to think of self-care as like a pyramid. Sorry, MLM. Kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but like of self-care. So like basic things, basic needs on the bottom, and then like self-fulfillment on top. And like for some people, self-care is genuinely just this stuff on the top. Like maybe doing something creative, going shopping, being with people. I don't know, these are just the examples that are like on the top of my head. On the internet, I have seen people say things like, drinking water and eating food isn't self-care, that should just be the bare minimum. I see the point, but also if you think about people with certain mental illnesses, chronic pain, for example, different disabilities, like sometimes just eating food and drinking water is the achievement of the day. That is like the most that people can do. I recommend looking up the spoon theory. A few years ago, I found this thing called the spoon theory. It's really popular among people with like chronic conditions, illnesses, chronic diseases, chronic pain, all sorts of different things, mental illnesses. And basically, according to Wikipedia, spoon theory, or spoon metaphor, I guess, is a metaphor in regards to ego depletion / fatigue, used to describe the amount of mental and physical energy a person has available for activities of living and productive tasks. It is usually used to explain the reduced amount of energy that may result from disability or chronic condition. The spoons are a visual representation used as a unit of measure for energy. So basically, like let's say I wake up in the morning, one morning with 5 spoons. Each time I like do something, one of my spoons is like taken away from the pile of spoons. So then I only have 4 spoons left. So let's say I brush my teeth, one of the spoons disappears. And then now I only have 4 spoons left for the rest of my day. Now, while I do deal with mental illness, I don't deal with any sort of chronic condition that makes me need to use the spoon theory. People who use the spoon theory to describe their energy levels, I think they lovingly call themselves spoonies, which I think is adorable. But I think that especially when we're talking about self-care, it's important that we remember the people like the spoonies in this world who do go through life having to be much more selective with what they put their energy towards. But here's my personal guide to self-care and a general chat about the topic. And feel free to leave in the comments below, like, what is self-care to you? What do you do on really hard days? What do you do on good days that you just want to take care of yourself? So like starting from the bottom of my own personal pyramid, there are days when like my mental illness stuff is raging. And these are the days that I would like to describe as like being a human plant. Because sometimes all I can manage is some food, water, and a little bit of sunlight. And there are definitely certain periods where that is a huge accomplishment. But I also know for myself that if I do get to that point, I need to probably start reaching out for help. And then the next level, I feel like the best way to describe it is being like a glowing plant, because it's like all my basic needs plus like skincare, maybe a little bit of makeup, maybe putting on pants. And then that feels like a massive win. That feels like I've really like cared for myself that day. Maybe instead of just eating calories, actually paying attention to the food that I'm putting in my body that day. Everything's just a little bit more like of a step up. And then I feel like the top of my pyramid, I mean, there's so many different levels in between, but the top of the pyramid generally would be feeling good about myself, doing things that make me feel good about myself, like whether that be makeup, no makeup, doing my hair, not doing my hair, hanging out with friends, doing something creative, painting, stuff like that can feel very just fulfilling. And I feel like it's really difficult to put these things in solid terms because it 100% depends on the day. There have been days when like I may as well be at rock bottom as far as how I'm taking care of myself, but then for some reason I'll still end up with like a full face of makeup on by the end of the day. It just really depends on so many different factors. But there's one thing that no matter what level I'm at, no matter where I'm at on my own self-care pyramid, therapy is on all levels. I'm actually gonna look up some like self-care stuff up on the internet because I am just kind of interested. Turn your nightly shower into an impromptu aromatherapy session by using an easy-to-make bath or shower bomb. I feel like aromatherapy in general is just wonderful. Like, wait, I love aromatherapy. Okay, so pretty much anything that is like sleep, like good night, sleep, lavender, relaxing, chill, chamomile, anything that smells like tea. Tea is another fantastic form of self-care. Make yourself your favorite tea. I really personally like chai. Even just like opening up this little case is just like, it smells so good. Lavender vanilla. Couldn't get better. Stay hydrated, be creative, spa day, go outside. When I did a few days without social media, it was genuinely like one of the best like self-care things I've done in like such a long time. So you try out a new hobby, do yoga, cook breakfast for myself, sing at the top of my lungs. This is so cute. Who is this written by? This is written by Cassie Johnston. You are adorable. I love your energy. I think in general though, it's good to at least do one thing that is just for yourself per day. So for me, usually that's skincare, morning and evening. I feel like since I started a skincare routine, it's actually made me a lot less judgmental of my own skin, which seems weird. But like now if I get pimples or like my face breaks out, I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. Because for me now, it's not about like making my skin perfect. It's just about like the health of my skin, and pimples are just a thing that happens sometimes and it's fine. Some other things I enjoy: meditation, journaling. There are just so many different options. And if you are just able to meet your basic needs with your self-care, that's fantastic. If you're able to put more energy into a self-care routine, that's also wonderful. So whatever your definition of self-care is, I'm just glad that you are putting that effort in to take care of yourself. Kind of spoke about this in my last video about hustle culture too, is like burnout is a real thing, and I do think that these little things that we do for ourselves do help us avoid burnout over time. So if there's one thing that I would like for you to take away from this video, it's that go take care of yourself. Do something that makes you happy. Do something that relaxes you. Maybe you got some ideas, or maybe this will inspire you to try out some new things that you haven't before. This is kind of a shorter video this week. I'm trying to catch up. I got a little behind on my filming schedule, and I want to make sure that I'm able to put out the best content consistently. But yeah, I will see you all next week. Feel free to like this video and subscribe and turn on the notification bell and all the other wonderful things. And yeah, I kind of already said it, but I'll see you next week.